when this nigga called me, was that, bro, I got a lot of animosity towards you, bro. I've been had it, you a sucker. You be moving sucker ways. I don't like it, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It makes me angry. You know what I mean?
Battles like this is what Math lives for.
Yeah.
Battles like this is what Math lives for. And I think this is
where he turns up.
This is his forte right here. This is his strong suit right here. When it's time to talk about what it needs to be talked about, Math ain't hold nothing back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what I did that night.
Now you gonna lie?
I'm gonna tell you what I did
Now you
that
gonna
night.
lie?
I saved your
Now you gonna lie?
I saved
Save my life. You call niggas. I got niggas on camera saying.
He went, woo! I hit him harder than a batch of karma. He was out before he dropped like the Magna Carta.
See, you don't got bars like that. You snuffed me 2 days ago. I still look good. You don't hit hard like that.
Wondering why you got scars on your face. You disrespecting me.
Yo, Kid Cudi, Soulja Boy, Lil B, Chief Keef, and Kanye West directly responsible for these niggas, man. This the Redirect podcast.
I got sweet tea, nigga.
My name is Direct. That's Poison Pen with the sweet tea. That's my man, Young Steve, the Great Goat. You heard?
The great goat.
The Great Goat.
Steve Digi.
And we came here to recap Swave. I said Swave. Yeah, yeah, actually Swave versus Bad News.
Team Homie, nigga.
I almost said Swave versus Serius, but
Well, that was what, 2 years ago?
it's crazy alliteration. But Math versus Serius, not just Math versus Serius, but the card is called Math versus Serius.
Closure, right?
The last one was closure.
The hashtag was closure, but like the card is called Math versus Serius.
Really? They
Yes.
called the card Math
Yes,
Serious?
yes. But the marketing is closure.
As much as this nigga closure shit the whole time night, the card was called Math versus
Yeah,
Serious?
but it's closure. They felt like the battle was so big that it had to be called Math versus Serius.
Word, that's what's up. The motherfucking face-offs was phenomenal.
Yo, can we talk about the face-off before we get into the card?
Let's get it.
So do I take people from behind the scenes from my perspective?
Yeah, sure, why not?
So I talked to ARP hours before it goes down. He gives me the nod like, you doing a face-off, bro. I'm like, word. I goes to the store. I buys me a polo, right?
Face-off gear.
Because, it's important for y'all to know that when I did the Mook versus Averb face-off, I didn't know this was happening. I didn't know this was going down. But guess what happened? I'm over here with my Space Jam Bugs Bunny and Friends pajama t-shirt, long sleeve on. They say, yeah, go get 1 million views.
Why does a grown man own one of those?
Yo, you don't like Space Jam?
I got the kicks, man.
Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance to do your dance at
I got my
Quad
Bugs
City
Bunnies, my
DJs.
nigga.
Quad City DJs, nigga, yeah.
Come on, Roger.
Hey, yo.
It's a song,
Yo,
motherfucker.
you from
Shut
Brooklyn.
Up. Facts. It ain't rock, nigga. What's up, nigga?
So, yeah, so all this is going down. I got on my Bugs Bunny Space Jam t-shirt, Daffy Duck and Friends, Foghorn, Leghorn in the cut. You know what I'm saying? And I'm up here hosting the damn face-offs, thinking in my head, like, I look like an idiot. But no, I don't think I saw no comments about that. But I felt like, listen, I would want to present it a certain way. I'm not trying to be champion with the triple-breasted triple tux. You know what I'm saying? But
at least be presentable.
Exactly.
At least like you're going out to like a nice movie, night or something.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You might take some pictures or something.
Exactly. Movie night at Battle Rap. So it was a movie. It was a movie.
Indeed.
Let's get to the event. Come on.
Hold on. So I you got to get through this.
Okay.
So I sit down. We start doing the face-offs. I want to say Emerson, Kennedy, and Ooops, right? Them brothers are so respectable. It turned into a respectable last interview, which I respect. Young Kennedy and Jay Murder, I tried to hit him with the light skin, battle of the light skin. You know what I'm saying? Turned up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Swave and Bad News. They was respectful in the beginning, but they turned up.
So someone's life was threatened during the...
Yeah. How you feel as a former Homie member? You know what I'm saying? Being that y'all take Homie serious.
You said former.
I mean, I said, why did I say former?
Fuck you said that for?
I can't confirm that.
I don't know why I said that.
We here.
But being a Team Homie member, and taking Homie seriously, did you feel like Bad News stepped over the Homie line with his comments?
Yo, my thing is a lot of people nowadays, like, and this ain't no shot to Bad News. We good. Battle was awesome, whatever. But just in general, like, a lot of people don't watch the words you say have direct connotations, bro. Like, and you gotta understand, like, when people do this battle rap shit, it's like, all right, if we in the ring, say whatever you gonna say about me. Like, all right, I'm all call motherfucker all sorts of pussy. You fuck my girl 25 different ways. All that, whatever. For those 30 minutes, it is what it is. Outside of that, you say certain things. You know what I mean? Like, if you say, yo, you in the battle, you battling for your life tomorrow, like, niggas from certain lifestyles, from certain walks of life. You mean, what are you trying to get at? What you?
I don't know. I get at you.
I understand. Like,
I get at you if we on the street talking, but it's literally we talking battle rap, and it's literally
it got turned up. I mean, he may overreact to this shit, but what I'm saying is niggas need to watch their fucking words, because niggas like this battle rap, bro. It's a business of analyzing people's words. So we having a conversation and you saying you gonna kill me. Obviously, we in a battle. That's something different.
It's gonna be over analyzing when that's normal battle rap term. Oh, he got killed. You know you're not gonna kill him in the third round.
Listen,
like you're not gonna really.
Swave didn't feel that way when it was said. But with that being said, though, you saw not 5 seconds. A few seconds later,
right.
It was right back to business, and everybody was good. So so obviously it wasn't taking that serious. But at the same time,
it's almost like PTSD. Like sometimes
right,
you hear,
you gotta
like go. I get.
Like during the face off with we might be jumping around a little bit with Serius and Mav.
You about to go right into that.
And Serius kept saying, "You can get killed," but he was talking from their prior shit, and Mav was like, "Yo, niggas from certain places take certain words differently."
But to me, that's different because they had
no.
Battle rap type.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
True indeed.
Issues.
No doubt.
Right.
100% I agree with you.
Right.
But that's on the individual.
Right.
Like you debating that with me don't mean shit, because I'm not the person that took the extra offense to it. Yeah. I mean, I'm a Homie member and all that shit. If you ask me would I have took offense to it like that if the shoe was on the other foot, probably not. To be real. But at the same time, choose your words wisely. And the nigga corrected himself after he made it clear. Choose your words wisely. Yo, it's the battle. All right. And then right after that, it was back to regular scheduled business. So it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Okay. So this is another thing I want to talk to you about, right? So for me, being of a perspective from actually hosting the face-off, right? I'm very cognizant of, all right, I'm going to try to be more articulate. I'm going to try to bring certain things out these people, da-da-da-da-da. But certain shit, like Math vs. Serious, it's like, I just got to...
Let that bus drive itself.
The only time I tried to even interject was when I felt like they was like, all right, cut it off. They're getting too crazy.
Right. I mean, sometimes you like as a good moderator knows when to step in and when to let it fly. You know what I'm saying?
I tried.
That's why I was saying your style. Everybody has their own style of moderation and stuff. Like you have just a genuine, like a general tone of conversation, more type of anything, more than hey, get up in his face. Your stuff goes with like the way you kind of feed off your energy dictates, hey, let's talk about this. Like, what's the conversation? What you really feel about him? Like, let's have an in-depth, deep conversation, more so than the WWE type of
sensationalism.
Let him talk to you like that, brother. Like, get you to the square circle.
Motherfuckers be cutting promos on each other.
Yeah. So which is nothing wrong with that because that's what you want to do.
All these
but it's just a different style to it.
Yeah, everybody's cutting promos, bro. That's
right.
That's what it is. Well, if y'all know what wrestling terminology cutting promos is, you know what I mean? the interview hype and whatever.
So getting into this card, right? I'm gonna start at the bottom of the flyer and go up. So the 1SKs, did anybody stand out in the 1SKs to y'all?
The second 1SK was pretty good.
The LL Cool G,
versus KT.
And KT, yeah.
Kenny Thomas.
Yeah, shouts to LL Cool G. That 1SK was pretty dope. The other one,
it's a Granddaddy.
Perk,
the
Granddaddy
Granddaddy Perk one. And from watching it, from in the video, it was kind of uneventful. That first one was kind of uneventful and shit. It wasn't getting much reaction and things of that nature.
Part of it was the crowd. I think Granddaddy was putting in. He was spitting.
Well, I mean, I gotta, when I see shit live, I try to hold my pen a little bit and then wait to see it. I haven't seen it on tape yet.
Right.
But just my first initial reaction, it was an underwhelming.
It was the beginning, when you first get
it's
there.
It's difficult to be the first.
Just ordering your drink and everything.
Token though, sometimes the first 1, 2, 3 battles got the most reaction of the night.
Everybody's fresh.
Yeah.
You wouldn't stand up for fucking 18 hours waiting for it.
But at the same time, you got to realize some of these new guys don't really get their just due. Like a lot of times, people. But then again, it's hard for me to say that because the second one, people was going crazy for.
I heard a lot of people complaining about the Atlanta crowds before. I haven't been to a battle in Atlanta in years.
I don't think the Atlanta crowd is bad at all.
I haven't been to a battle in Atlanta in years. This is my first time at a battle in years. I personally didn't from my perspective, watching all the battles that I've seen from the crowd. I didn't have a major problem with the crowd.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think they fairly reacted when it was time to react.
Right.
Sometimes they needed to wake the fuck up. Sometimes they needed something to react to. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah,
a lot of stuff is momentum. You can't come with weak bars in a hot line and think everybody gonna just go crazy.
Right. Mm-hmm. True.
So yeah, I agree with that because if you think about it, every battle except for the first and last battle,
everything else was
reacting for
exactly.
They were pretty much
reacting. So if they was dead all night or overreacting all night, it's like they was pretty in tune for the most part. You know what I mean?
So the first battle after that is RBE. I think this is dope. They do this thing called on site, which I don't know if this is gonna be something they do every event, but they take a battle off the stage and they put it on the ground. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if
that was a surprise battle too, right?
It was on the card, but it wasn't supposed to be on the pay-per-view.
Oh, okay.
Right? So Mr. Mills versus Dre Dennis.
Yep.
Right? And I actually thought that was a good idea to choose that to be the battle to put on the ground. You know what I'm saying? I
agree.
I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but I think maybe Craig Lamar would have benefited from that a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
You think the stage is what gets to Craig Lamar when it comes to him?
Well, when me and ARP was doing the predictions before, he was saying that how with a lot of his battlers, he noticed body language and things they do, and he knows sometimes Craig Lamar would take his hair out, put it over his face when he tried to hide from the crowd.
Oh, he's still has those insecurities a little bit.
You know, Craig Lamar is no secret that, and this is kind of one of the most talked about things from the event, is that people's like, damn, you messing up again? Because people get so mad at him because he's fired.
Bro,
he's so dope.
Him and Rosenberg, that first round, I was like, yo, this is gonna be this might be the battle of the night.
Right.
And then Craig just he fell apart a few times. But the material that he did get off was amazing. If he'd have just kept up, he ran into his own brick wall and shit. He just boom. I was like, fuck, man.
So let's just talk about that first, since we already.
And the momentum was there. He was cooking, but he lost. I mean,
what do you think his issue is? Because he does it a lot. Is it you think it's preparation? He hasn't had a battle recently.
Due to what he just said, I never analyzed it like that. He's probably just uncomfortable with crowds and shit. If you pull your hair to cover your face, you're not comfortable.
No, there's that, and sometimes there's a few people do it. There's a reason why QP wears sunglasses. What happens is your eyes give everything away. When you see people, when you see people is choking. When QP choking, you can never tell because his eyes, his face. You can't tell if he's thinking.
People's eyes start darting around. They start looking up and down.
And start looking down. A lot of people either look down or up or whatever. Somebody got shades on, you can't see. So if you putting your hair in front of it, you could get away for a few seconds where people think that they don't know what's going on.
But at the same time, you're still supposed to have a game face or whatever. But I don't know. I'm not.
But it's hard to game face when you're trying to remember something.
Well, but that's a part of the game. What the fuck?
Well, yeah, that's the part he lacks. Well, see, this is the thing. This is the part that he lacks. But at least he's cognizant enough to know that, hold on, I'm choking. I don't want nobody to see me choking. let me throw it over my eyes and try to.
I mean,
you know, a lot of people do the water thing. They
so
be
nobody
let me
sees
get
the
some water
choking
or whatever.
on the stage. They're gonna see you choke.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it buys you a few extra seconds if they can't see you. Just like if you about to spit, you know, you forgot a lot of times. Yo, let me get this water real quick. My throat. You know what I mean? You're gonna get you. It's gonna buy you a few seconds or whatever. But only buy you a few seconds. To me, to be honest, he's staying too long without getting it. You know what I mean? To me, I feel like if you spit a decent amount of your verse, maybe you got 3/4 of your verse out, you already spit almost 3 minutes of it. Let it go sometime instead of trying to hold it.
One of the rounds, he was pretty much at least 75% done.
He had like 4 bars
It
left.
was smoking.
I think that might have been the second round.
Yeah,
It probably was the second round.
That was the second.
And like I was just like, yo, like we was just standing there waiting for that. And then he stopped, and then he couldn't get it back. So yeah, man.
So just a quick round breakdown for people that I thought Craig Lamar won the first. Either he won the first. Yeah, because Rosenberg didn't really turn up. Yeah.
The first was obviously the round because
Yeah.
he was on the whole time.
Yeah.
And Raw was on the whole time. So that's the only round that could be debatable, being that, you know what I'm saying, that's the only round that he really didn't falter in like that.
But the night before, we was at the restaurant. Rosenberg was like, "Yo, you don't understand. I'm gonna kill this nigga. It's not even about him." And after the first round, I was kind of like, I don't know. He's not showing me what he was talking about the night before. But that second round, where he said the line, and see what some of y'all might not understand this from watching this podcast, but Rosenberg is the type, like, the way he says things is what gets his point across, not actually like the creativity and the layers of the line.
It's that Philly shit, man. Listen, New York, born, you know, something best started to death for me, man. But outside of my city, man, my favorite city stylistically, when it comes to spitting, yo, that Philly style is unmatched, bro. A nigga that's really on this Philly shit could fuck up most niggas on earth, bro. I promise you, son. Like just stylistically, just the presentation. Like, yo, there's something about
What happened? What happened with Craig Lamar? Why wasn't he at the Face Off?
He was still traveling to get there.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't even there yet.
But I was saying it wasn't like he was working on his rhymes or anything like that. Or his,
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But I will say the highlight for me was 2 things when Rosenberg said, like, ARP don't even care if you die. He just
want the footage.
for his footage. Yeah. And then the third round, he was like, you dealing with a Rottweiler. Scratch that. This Brock Lesnar versus Brock Osweiler. Like, I thought that was hard.
Yo, towards the end of like the third round, it was just like Raw was just styling.
Yeah.
It was just like
It was a 2-1 body. That's how I feel.
Yeah, and it was more due to Craig not getting his material out.
But
You know
his
what I'm saying?
material
But-
not getting out happened to coincide with Raw.
Raw
crazy.
just
And
the thing is Raw consistently got better.
Right, that's what it was.
You know what I mean? Like Raw started off solid, but kept going. He kept ascending.
Right.
And Craig came out on 10, and due to losing his momentum and stumbling, it declined. So one went like this, and the other went like this. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So now going back in time real quick, that's a pretty clear 2-1 or 3-0 Rosenberg. Everyone is gonna say.
Yeah.
The Mr. Mills and Dre Dennis. That battle, I feel like Mr. Mills kind of had control of it in the beginning, and then towards the end, Dre Dennis just took over. There was a line. I'm going through my rap Greek notes as we speak. When I think Mr. Mills like you'll never catch Dee Dee in the lab like Dexter's sister. That's crazy.
That was all.
But you know what? I think Mr. Mills was he was a little bit of the same thing as
Craig
Lamar, because he was stumbling and he didn't really choke like him.
That was more towards the end though. In the beginning, he was crispy.
Second round too though. He was doing a lot of stumbling, a lot of repeating his.
Oh yeah.
He was fumbling a lot. He's nice, but he just was fumbling. I think
I fucks with Mr. Mills. I fucks with both of them, Mills and Dre. You know what I'm saying? I think Mills is well underrated.
Dre,
you know what I'm saying?
I think Dre is too. Dre
is underrated. I don't know. I think Dre gets a lot of unnecessary hate, bro.
You know what it is? It's because when he was a PG and he was coming up, it felt like all the dudes from his class that were stars had to battle him. And I feel like people took it as like you battling everybody that's about to go on the main stage after you. And I feel like his opponents kind of band together and was like, yo, let's make it look like he'll never graduate. I mean, and then he even played into it when he battled Toe Montana and threw his cap in the air.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think a lot of it plays into his believability too, because he's nice, but it seems like he's trying to convince people that he's really what he says he is. You know what I'm saying? With the choppers and but everybody knows.
Do you think that's in his delivery?
Yeah. That's in his. So people know. There's some people who could separate the difference and be like, no, I know he's just spitting. You know what I'm saying?
Conceited.
Right. Like exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Just like Conceited. Like you don't even. But Conceited, you almost don't even take him serious. It doesn't. He's not like he's trying to pass off.
So you
like
saying Dre raps like he wants you to take him serious?
He raps like he did.
I hear what you're saying.
Plus, but even with Conceited though, people don't know what else Conceited does other than well, you know what I mean. He's just. Conceited, he just raps, he's in the street. It's different when you know that, hey, this guy is a public school teacher and he gets up in the morning, he buys pencils and stuff like that.
Are you saying that's what Dre Dennis does? Is that what Dre Dennis is?
He was a teacher, right? Yeah, he was a teacher.
I don't know.
I think he was doing something like that. I don't know.
I don't know if he's still doing it now, but that's when he came in. He was a teacher.
I think he was a teacher.
Oh.
So, and I think a lot of people, everybody knew that. So it was just like.
But see, that's unfair. That's unfair though, because 0.05% of all battle rappers have actually done anything aggressive that they rapped about.
But some people have. I would say this. Some people have
about that. I mean, everybody take artistic freedoms, but
all right. So
you gotta realize
there's like 7 battle rappers that actually speak from real life experience. Can you agree with that?
But listen, I'll say this: everybody
more. Yeah, I mean, it's more fantasy than reality.
Everybody exaggerates,
of course.
But there's a difference between exaggerating and
straight up just
lying, and making stuff up. And I think that's the thing with him is that I think a lot of people look at him as like.
but do you know him to know to say that? That's
I'm not saying that. I think
right.
I believe that this is what people do.
That's okay. You say that's what people. That's what they. You think that's their perspective on him? Is what you're saying.
Exactly. I think that's what people's perspective is. On
right.
Him. I like him. I think you're talking about why he's not as good.
Yeah, that's my nigga.
Same thing like you said. Perception is everything. This is why you had to go get the polo shirt and you're like, okay, this time I'm gonna come off different because I'm caring about how people look at me and what they think of it. Everybody has their persona, you know what I'm saying, or what they project. So people always look at him like, okay, that's the. Even when it comes to people like Street Hymns or Loso or somebody, okay, they want you to stick to your personality that you've built. Okay, I feel like you a Christian. I feel like Christians shouldn't have guns. So now we gonna jump on Loso about gun bars, even though it don't say nothing in the Bible about a Christian can't have a gun or a sword or whatever.
If you want to look at
a sword,
nigga, you want to look at religion historically. It's some of the most violent shit on earth,
Bible,
nigga.
Yeah.
Look up the fucking Crusades, nigga. Christians, look at all the fucking mass shootings out here. Christians is the niggas with the guns clapping, niggas. Fucking you talking about?
It's an Instagram clip.
These niggas just Bible thumpers, bro, and they clapping everybody.
But here's the thing: in the Bible doesn't necessarily preach that you're supposed to shoot somebody or kill somebody, but it don't say that you're not allowed. Well, yeah, but
eye for an eye.
But
the Bible say eye for an eye.
But I'm
Survive them
saying,
shots to die, nigga.
But I'm saying disciples and stuff had weapons, like Peter did. You know what I'm saying? Like,
of course.
So this was, if you chop off somebody's ear, he didn't do that with his hand, right?
Right.
So I mean, there's nothing that says they're not allowed to have it. You're not allowed to protect yourself. All that stuff that we put out there as a society, we don't think.
But we had these like weird ass broad generalizations. I can't say generalizations. Broad generalizations on just groups of people.
Right.
We all do this shit. Everyone does it.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I'm saying. When people see a teacher, they be like, "Oh, you couldn't be thugging. You couldn't be hustling. You know what I mean? Or doing what you saying."
You hustled and then when you got a degree.
Right.
Although we all know. When I was in second grade, I saw my teacher on the news because apparently she was selling crack at the school.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You know what I'm saying? But she was a student teacher, Miss Rosario, and she's selling crack. I don't know who she was selling it to.
I worked for the Board of Ed, bro.
Rosario.
You know what I'm saying? I worked for the Board of Ed before. And I mean, I ain't saying I was never no fucking career criminal, but
right.
I worked for the
Board
of Ed.
Still gonna get your hustle on the side,
I worked for the Board of Ed myself, bro. Back in the day, like that shit don't mean nothing. I knew mad niggas. I knew mad teachers that was on Special K, getting fucked up after work. Doing all sorts of reprehensible shit.
Right.
Like, but they were still teaching you
Nigga
kids.
said Special K.
Ketamine, yeah, Special K, horse tranquilizer. I know teachers that was doing shit like that.
That's crazy.
I'm just saying, I mean, that's all.
But the point is,
that was cereal, nigga. Damn.
No, real Special K, not Special K. The shit in the fucking aisle 10.
The point is that everybody has a box that they put you in,
right?
And whatever you project yourself as, that's what they're gonna expect, and they're gonna expect the stereotypical version of that. You know what I'm saying? You say you a teacher,
Agreed.
you Mr. Hightower. That's
Right.
it. You know what I'm saying? That's just what you are. You,
Nah, I feel you.
Whatever
I
the
feel you.
stereotypical,
At least you got
what
a
we
fresh
think of a
line.
teacher is, unless you,
Double on
Nigga,
top of
fresh
it.
you got fresh line balls. You got balls.
Yeah,
you got the
balls.
fresh lines. You Mr. Hightower. But see, this is the thing. So that's why I feel like bringing it back to Dre Dennis. I feel like that's why he don't get his just due, because of people what they know he doing, what box they trying to fit him in. They not going by the skills or his style and everything. They going by what he's supposed to be as far as what they know.
But with all that said, Dre Dennis 2-1, and I feel like he definitely won, especially in the last round when he had the we liked you better as a fat nigga. Fat Dre, bring it back where it's at, nigga. But I was never fat as that nigga.
Yeah.
That was ill.
Yeah,
That was ill.
I gave him the first and the third.
Shout out to Bill Collector for that too.
You gotta flip shit like that.
Never
though,
gonna
when
forget
it's
that. That's a whole nother event. But yeah, that's one of the classic. That was one of the classic moments of the year, bro.
Now let's talk about Jay Murder versus Young Ken.
Middle.
Now, Penn.
Yes.
Everybody knows you homie.
Homie, nigga.
You're a leader of
There's a
homie.
lot of homie on this card, right?
Nigga, every card, niggas need to stop underselling like Team Homie's impact. This is not gonna be a Team Homie meat licking session, but niggas need to stop underselling Team Homie's impact. To this day, every major card has multiple Team Homie contributions to it, regardless of the platform, regardless of the fucking league, regardless of how big, regardless of how small. Every major battle rap event has fucking Team Homie involved to this day. Niggas can act like niggas ain't been putting that work in for a decade fucking plus. Niggas can act like niggas ain't jacking that. Niggas can act like they ain't riding with us. But end of the day, niggas is still heavily active. Fucking Massacre, Team Homie.
But I feel like
Guardians
most
of the
people-
Culture, Team Homie. Fucking URL events, Team Homie. My nigga, this shit yesterday, fucking Red Breed, Team Homie, my nigga. Like, yo, there's multiple Team Homie niggas involved in every fucking. Stop playing with us, man.
Yo, I think that most people don't realize
Stop fucking playing with us, man.
that Rum Nitty is in Team Homie.
That shit on the wall in his house, nigga. Niggas talk all the shit they want. That shit on his wall in his house, my nigga. That nigga Homie. Ask Rum where he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas be bugging, son. Like, we know what time it is. Like, y'all can speculate at home all you want. Like, it's solid, bro.
So getting into this Jay Murder, what it did it do
Uh-huh.
versus Young Cannon battle? Can I kind of direct this because I have things to say, right?
I got you.
And Penn, but I brought up the Homie thing though because no Homie bias, right?
For sure.
Okay.
I keep it tall, so we can
Okay.
talk.
So in Young Cannon's first round, I thought he was really good. He had the whole he was naming different parts of Georgia, and he said something about like no matter where you, I leave him on the outskirts, no matter what you make in Georgia or something. He said something like that.
yeah.
That whole
The whole
scheme was
scheme,
dope.
That was a dope ass
Then
scheme.
he said Big Hand Spark, and he go drop like Cortez when Hitman crossed him. That was hot. I like that.
I knew that was coming
That's
sooner or
forever.
later.
That's forever the funniest thing ever.
I knew that was coming sooner or later.
Shout out to Cortez, who's still in the hospital recovering. He has no ankles nor kneecaps anymore.
Come on, man. Come on. Don't do my man.
The MRI came back positive. He'll be back. He'll be back on his feet in about 3 weeks.
Don't do my man. Like, he had like 6 points. He had a good 6 points in the
Shouts to Murder Ass, my nigga.
Yo, when Hitman crossed Cortez, I swear I heard na-na-na, na-na-na, and the thing came up on the screen and it said breaking, ruptured Achilles, out for 6 to 8 weeks.
Yo, son.
Cortez of the Murder Ave.
The Murder Ass Misfits.
Damn.
But nah, at Jay Murder's first round, now this was something that a lot of people was arguing about, saying, yo, this is a stretch. Was when Jay Murder said, I spit sick, believe me, a nigga foul. People like, no, believe me, it was a stretch. Oh my God, like, that's something actively a lot of people kept tweeting me about.
I guess it's believe me.
Believe me, a nigga foul. How do you
I guess cause the wordplay, believe me, but believe.
A little bit of a stretch. I can
But
see
I
it.
feel like the line Jay Murder got off in
It
that
still makes
round
sense though.
was, I bet he won't stomach a real C-section. You better cut it out, young. That's what
That was
everybody
good.
went crazy
That was
when he
crazy.
said that. First round, how did we score that?
I don't know. You say I'm not.
Do you remember how you scored the first round?
Wait, so that was his first round. That was Murder's first round.
Yeah. First round, he had the bulimia in the C-section.
I think I
And
gave
then-
Murder the first.
I might have had Young Cannon, but
I think I gave Murder the first.
I think Young Cannon had.
I know in the first and second it was like 1-1, and then the third I was just like,
Okay.
nah.
So that was the general consensus
Yeah.
going into the third.
Yeah.
Most people were saying it was 1-1.
1-1.
So
Into the third round.
So second round, they keep y'all say you keep the white flying dog, but that's never in this story.
That was
Young Cannon.
Yeah, that was a good line.
All right, now
That came up twice that night
Yeah.
too. A bunch of people must have been watching. Was it on TV or something that night? Late night TV?
Oh man, that shit was on
Yeah.
USA Network at like
something
2 a.m.
like
Ooops had the line too.
Yeah, a couple people had that line. I'm like, what? Never in the story.
So here's another line. Second most controversial line of the battle. When Young Cannon says, "You just a spick. I'm spectacular."
That was hard.
Now I heard a lot of what the hell, that was corny. June, he's Spanish. He was like, "What the hell?" You know what I'm saying? You was like, "Yo, that was fire."
It sounded good.
It was funny.
But not. I mean, when you think about certain stuff,
I like when you. It's funny because see, my thing is
It's
this.
funny because they both Spanish.
Right, my thing is this.
J Murder Spanish, right?
Yeah, you put it.
Okay.
The thing is this. People expect, okay, you got niggas who's bar heavy. Matter of fact, then we had this conversation about the goods line.
yeah. Yes, it is.
Same shit. Similar
Right.
context. Cannon is wild bar heavy. Cannon, he's gonna sit there and bar you to death. That's what he do. He's a extra proficient rapper and shit. But the thing is, people think, okay, just because you're bar heavy all the time, that every bar is an amazing bar.
Right.
Sometimes you just say some dumb shit because it works.
Right.
Like
exactly.
if you, my thing is this: if you know,
you talk about the beard stink line,
right?
or whatever. Yeah.
So if you know you're gonna say something that's gonna get a reaction, why not say it? It don't have to be the illest bar in history.
right, you're right.
You know that if I know I can say something that's gonna make the crowd react, say the shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But that makes it the illest bar in history. Some of the illest bars in history, when you
Right.
really think about it, don't make sense.
You know what I'm saying? But going back to the spectacular shit.
German guy dogs.
Jeremy Gardner, or was it with Hitman with the bullets, reload with the bullets?
Yo, that was oh my god.
That sounded fire.
Don't get sidetracked. Don't get sidetracked. Don't get sidetracked. Don't get sidetracked.
on that shit, bro.
I got the German
Oh
guard
my
dogs, by
God.
the way.
But
yeah.
nah, so when he said this shit, I was just like, nigga, really, son? But the crowd loved it.
Right.
So I'm not mad at it.
Right.
Personally, I'm like, nah. Personally,
I thought it sounded good. It sounded good.
It did, so I'm not mad at it. You understand? That's just a personal preference.
Yeah.
I'm not mad, and it worked. So like that's end of the day, they reacted, so the shit worked.
Right.
Personally, I'm like, nigga, really, son? You was I'm spectacular. but the funniest shit on top of that is what niggas don't know is Murder said that before.
Oh, okay.
So
I
it's
didn't know
just
that.
like, oh, this like Murder said that. So it's like, so to me, it didn't have because I knew he said that before.
Okay.
So I guess it was a little different, but it was
Right.
But I felt the same way when Murder said it too. To be fair, like
right.
But see, Murder's sarcasm will make that a more funny line because Murder's a very sarcastic. His whole aura is sarcasm and like.
But see, stuff like that. I wonder if people are stealing or taking from somebody like 10-4, because it's like you studying your opponent.
I tell you like this.
You study, but it's different if I'm battling you and you said the thing. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing if I go always say I ain't heard this dude,
Right.
Never heard of him, didn't heard that line, or
But
whatever.
also, it would also come to certain things like not to bring the race in. They both MCs of Latin descent.
Right.
The racial epithet for that is spit.
Right.
So they both spit.
Right.
So I mean,
right.
it is what it is.
Not that far-fetched to think of a
so it's
spick
not like,
line.
oh my
Yeah.
god, you stole it. Like my nigga, it's a fucking phrase.
Right,
You speak
right,
on
right.
spectacular. Like that's.
I don't know about spectacular.
Neither of them. I've heard.
That's not a common enough.
I've heard that before multiple times.
I mean, it's like spick and span. I can understand a lot of people will come with spick and span, but
I'm from a Puerto Rican hood, so maybe I've heard it more than other people's. I've definitely heard it before Murder and before Cannon said it. You know what I mean? Whatever. It's been said before.
Okay.
So moving on. Right after that, even if I didn't like the line, because I was undecided, I was like, I don't
Fuck
know.
it, the crowd loved it, so it is what it is.
But right after that, Cannon said what might be to me just the hardest line of the battle. It wasn't personal at all, but he said the blade is small hawk and it get up quick like Spud Webb.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah, that was hard.
That was crazy.
I think
that line was hard.
I
He said
think
that
even
was
that was
second.
part of another scheme too, a whole football, basketball,
I-
Atlanta scheme thing. He was
I don't
doing
remember that whole scheme, but I heard him say that.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is a hard, just
that line
regular
was
line.
hard.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
line was hard.
So then, J Murder second. Is this the second one he did this? Oh, okay. Oh no, Jay Murder went first, so this is his third.
The third was when he pulled out the picture with the
So
tranny.
this is what we're gonna talk about, right? So I would never want to. I don't know none of this to be true. I would never want to put something on Young Cannon if it's not true, right? But usually when people say, "Oh, you messing with a tranny, you gay in a battle," the reaction is, "Haha," or whatever, nigga. Like, keep that shit moving. Niggas like that.
That's like the easiest thing to say. Oh, you gay? Oh,
Right.
like, come on, nigga. This is 2019, bro. You gotta go further. Like, really.
So Jay Murder came with an angle on his third where he basically said, "You got caught fucking with trannies. You was chilling." He called the thing a bitch.
Yeah, that was funny as shit.
That's politically incorrect as shit. Don't kill me.
But
But
nigga said
he said
But
was
you just
chilling
said a
with the
thing.
Mitch.
He called the thing a Mitch. Like,
Yeah, and I
So
realized that.
even worse.
No, I was talking about
thing-
Fantastic Four because you know it's
okay.
crazy. But anyway,
Fantastic Four is a trans?
no. What actually happened was I caught myself saying it, and I was like, "Let me just keep talking and not." Nigga want to bring it back. Thanks, Steve. But anyway, so
No problem. You're welcome.
So Jay Murder's telling the story about how his baby moms had fallen out with him, and because you know he was messing with trannies, and it's like a thing that people know in Chicago. But the way he painted it, everybody was like, "Yo, word, that really happened."
No, but the funny part about this shit is because Cannon, like, let's be clear, Cannon's fan, bro. Like,
Yeah,
all you motherfuckers at home, for the most part, motherfuckers, Maverick Series really ain't like each other. But for the most part, niggas is cool. Like, niggas is cool. It's a fucking sport, bro. It ain't that deep. Cannon is fan. That's our nigga. Cannon knew, well, at least what he was gonna try to do. Obviously, he didn't know exactly how he was gonna come across with it. But Cannon knew that you saw he was trying to the whole time. Oh, you gonna put out a picture? Oh, you gonna put a t-shirt? So he was already.
It was because of the interview with Uncle Rod, and he mentioned it.
Right.
Yeah,
So he already knew. Like, it wasn't a secret that Murder was gonna at least try to address that alleged issue or whatever happened.
Right.
Like, it wasn't no secret. But the thing is, he just didn't fight it as strong as the material that Murder had to make it, to paint that picture that that trans.
He didn't have a strong enough rebuttal for that.
Was
Yeah.
accurate or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So,
in fact, I think he really.
okay.
He made it look like, you know what I mean? Like you said, he would have been better off just not saying nothing. But all the thumbs down and the making the gestures and getting the mad. And then I don't know if you noticed at the end.
That's what I was about to get at. Go
He
ahead.
didn't shake his hand.
You skipped the part.
What?
You didn't. Did y'all just
no,
y'all
go ahead.
forgot?
Go ahead. You take
Okay, he got to the point where he pretty much, I don't remember the lyric, the bars word for word, but the point where he was to the point where like, yo, my nigga, if you gay, don't trip.
Right.
Stop fronting this. If that's you, that's you. Like, don't stop painting the false or whatever, whatever that.
We have a man J2 doing that.
And then when son came up, like, yes, like,
Hold on, what?
my nigga, did you not?
No, I didn't see it.
What's the dude's name?
Dude, I think his name is J2.
The gay battle.
from ADR.
The MC, the gay battle rapper.
Yeah.
I know his name, so
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
I'm not trying to generalize, but it was the gay dude that was there. But when Murder did all that, this motherfucker ran up and was like, "That's right," and was like amping it, like, and I'm like, "Yo, my niggas, you a part of this battle, bro?" Like, but the
Nah,
gay
I don't
dude,
think he was.
I mean, obviously he wasn't, but the point is, what Murder said struck
He was
such
feeling
a
the
fucking
message,
chord. That the gay dude was like, yes, nigga, stop playing. Come out the fucking closet, nigga. We know what it is. Like the whole, you just at the end of the,
You ain't see that? And then he brought it back, and then dude was filling the line for him and everything.
No, nigga, you watch the fucking pay-per-view. The nigga came up to the front of this. He didn't get on the stage. He got to the front.
He was in the front.
He got.
I don't know
right
if Avocado got him, but he was right because he was right next to the main cameraman.
Avocado didn't get him. He walked the fuck up.
No, I'm not saying get him. I'm talking about on camera. So I don't know as far as did he get him on camera because he was standing next to the main camera.
Right.
So I don't know if because Avocado had the other camera.
This
on
is
his
all
side.
bad.
Yeah.
This is all bad.
So when the dude walked up, that made it look even. And he gave Murder a pound and shit on the side, like, yeah. Like, you didn't see none of that shit?
Yes.
So that's why.
No, he was standing in the back of the stage.
he was
That's
in the
why.
back.
He was on the back.
He walked
He was right in the front.
I was in the
front.
back.
And dude was co-signing heavy, so it made that look worse for Cannon. You know what I'm saying?
So I have to
And they
ask
talk
him.
all that moment shit, whatever.
Right.
That was definitely a fucking
So I have
moment.
to ask this because I mean we could talk about what Young Cannon spit in the third round, but how Jay Murder put it together was so impactful. It was like he won. It didn't matter.
Right.
But I hate to ask this, but I have to because it happened and it was in public. Do we believe Jay murder? Well, let me preface this by saying that Jay murder swears it's true.
That's what I was about to say. I asked him after the battle,
too,
like I was just like talking to him. I was like, "Is this something that's really known, or like was this just an angle or whatever?" And I would say this: at the very least, he believes that this did happen. Even he didn't doctor. He didn't doctor the photo. He didn't make the photo. He got it off the transgenders. He said he got off the transgenders website. And
what was the photo? Because I didn't see it.
It was him hugged up.
It was a picture of him posted up. Not like they was doing no. But at the same time, they was chilling. But like they were arm around.
Nah, they were kind of armed around. Because when he was first showing it, I didn't know where he was going with
it. You sure that was a transgender person?
Let me put it this way. When he first showed, because I didn't even know where he was going with it. Yeah. When he first showed it, I thought it was just him and his girl. I thought he was going to say something about Cannon's girl. Like, oh, she's fat. Or, oh, look at her eyes. Or something stupid
Look
like
at her
that.
eyes.
I don't know. I didn't know what he was going to say.
Eyes, nigga.
So it looked like... It looked like that was like they kind of was together or whatever, and like I said, he said that he got it off of her off of her IG or something. And her IG was like King or I'm a King, but it was spelled with a Q or something like something kind of crazy. Like
Misfit
that.
does that.
Yeah,
King
Fit.
But no, when you spell the Q, the K with the Q, that's a part of the community. Like,
I didn't know that. Oh, that's why it's LGBTQ element.
I mean, well, the Q stands for queer, the LGBTQ thing. But when you spell,
I didn't even know that.
When you spell King with a Q, that's usually you're part of the community.
Right.
Obviously,
so you're sure that person was transgender? Basically.
No, so it seems like it's sure that person was transgender. So what I kept trying to ask him was, is this something that he knew? Because people, you never know. You could get tricked out here.
To be 100% fair, like I travel, I tour. Motherfuckers walk up, ask to take pictures. I take a picture.
It could be anybody.
Whoever.
Right.
But at the same time, if it's just a picture and that's the only, like that's something, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna turn nobody, like unless you're trying to do some fuck shit in the photo, I'm gonna take a picture with whoever. Mm-hmm. Unless you're trying to play me or do some crazy shit.
Right.
If you standing there, whatever. But
right.
It was a little too much behind it for like, and I mean,
the bottom line is like even if you get tricked, you might be drunk, somebody hollering at you, you don't know or whatever.
Drunk to what extent?
No, I'm just saying if you take a picture with somebody or you,
even,
or you talking to somebody,
even sober, like if you're a person that has fans. Mm-hmm. Let's not act like Young Cannon is like some nigga that nobody know, nobody fuck with. Young Cannon's a popular battle rapper.
Right.
That people enjoy his footage, enjoy his performances. There's plenty of people that he don't know from a can of paint that'll be like, yo, Cannon, let's take this pic. Mm-hmm. I mean, but how far that? I don't know.
But the problem is this. Here's the problem. The problem was his responses during the battle.
Right. That's what.
This is the thing. Because I'm saying what it could have been. I'm stating what it could have been.
Right.
It could have been anybody. It could have been anything. You drunk, somebody talking to him, and you get to talking, and then sometimes your man could be like, yo, that was a man.
Right.
Like, oh, shoot, I didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? Or you could be talking to a person to a length of time where you not know. Obviously, if you going home to the crib and all that stuff, because I think in his bars, he said something about Young Cannon. You said that y'all went to the hotel, but y'all slept in separate beds or something like that. And then
he said that.
Yeah,
he said that in the battle. He said that.
So Young Cannon said him and the transgender.
No. Murder said that.
That's what I'm saying. No.
Murder said that.
Murder said that. He said that. That was his response. So
right. Murder said that. Cannon said that to Relly.
To Relly, yeah.
Relly Rev. You know what I'm saying?
So I don't know. So who knows if it's really the situation? But whether it was or not, like
he sold it.
He sold it, and then and Cannon had the absolute worst response to what you give to that.
Well, what's the best response?
Not that. Like,
anything but.
Your best response is to ignore it, or just like
to be honest with you, even if Young Cannon won the first 2 rounds. Just the way the third played out, I was like, yeah, he won.
Mm-hmm. And the thing to me was, I thought being that he knew the angle that Murder was gonna take, I figured that his defense would have been a little bit better.
But what if see, you know what? The one thing worse than what he did is if he wrote around rebuttaling it, trying to explain why it happened.
Not a whole round.
That's what I thought.
I mean, well, he tried to, but the shit wasn't as impactful as like before Murder even got to that. Wait, he was like, oh, what you gonna pull out a picture? He called to pulling the picture out before Murder pulled the picture out. I think that was in the second round. He said all that. Oh, you gonna get a T-shirt? Like he called
from the first round. The first round he took the T-shirt.
But it just didn't match up to what Murder had with the photo and all that shit. It just didn't. You know what I mean? I just thought a nigga like Cannon, who has been on killing sprees, I figured he would have been able to combat that a little bit better.
More than likely, it's probably not true, but who knows?
So do all three of us have murder 2-1?
Like I said, one point that he made is that with that third round, like there's certain battles we talk about, but we were talking about that earlier too, that certain battles, regardless of what the first 2 rounds done, like sometimes that third round or the second round,
It wasn't like a body bag. It was just like it was
I
like
think
niggas wasn't believing it.
I think that third round was so cold or so believable that it makes the other 2 irrelevant, null and void. Like it don't matter who you give the other.
We had to, like we talk about
unless Cannon just like destroyed him so bad in one round, then maybe I wouldn't think like that. But I felt like even if Cannon was edging it, which a lot of people seem to think, that it was just like nah.
Yeah.
I mean, are we talking the whole back? Like
even that one, that could have been 1-1. That easily looked at as 1-1 going into the third.
I wouldn't argue that. I wouldn't argue that.
Well, I'm looking at the poll right now. It says 36% of people got murder 2-1, 44% of people got Cannon 2-1.
Really?
Wow, that's crazy.
13%.
It's close, but okay, it's what it is. People just got decide.
So let's jump into just Swave versus Bad News battle. First of all, shout out to Killer Mike, who came through the battle.
Yes, indeed.
He came through to see Swave and Bad News specifically.
I mean, you know what I mean? Killer Mike's on Swave's last album. That's home team, man. Mike is home team. You know what I'm saying? He come out to battles in Atlanta when there's niggas he want to see in Atlanta battle. Like Team Army niggas.
Knew that was coming.
Ask Mike.
I mean, that's how I know him because I know him because of y'all.
How you know Killer Mike?
Because I had to name drop y'all. He was like, "Word, take my number."
Exactly. Facts.
So, I think Swave goes first, right?
Yeah, Swave went first.
I think this line pretty much sums up how his first round was when he said, "With no braids, I'm gonna give you that old Swave, no face app."
No face app. The second face app reference of the day,
right?
Because Ooops had the first one.
No, Ooops was after them, right?
No, Ooops was after. Yeah, it was after.
So Swave had the first.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooops was right after them.
Right.
Okay. Cool.
Another line I like that Swave said is hold on, what was it? It was one hit you swallow all your teeth before you can fall asleep. I like that. That was hard. Then Bad News goes. I'm skipping some of the lines to kind of speed it up. So Bad News goes. We knew the energy was going to be on point, right? But what I expected was Swave to be so creative in some of his lines that Bad News would just have to overpower him energy-wise to fully win the battle, right? And he wasn't backing down, of course. And there was a lot of energy. But I think his best line of the first round was "Don't be a menace to Trey or Pop. I've been sonning niggas older than me."
That was good. That was dope, man.
That was fine. It's funny you should mention that. I thought that the dynamic of the way they played the stage was interesting too, because
when they was like doing the do-si-do.
Yeah, the do-si-do
around each other
because you know that was one of the things coming into is Bad News gonna be pushing them around like we do everybody?
You know, first of all, anybody watching Bad News footage, you like him or dislike him, you knew he wasn't gonna sit there and be no timid motherfucker.
Right. Exactly.
This nigga done went head up with Suge, bro.
Right.
Like let's not act like Newz ain't put up a healthy resume in a nice short period of time with hitters.
Right.
With niggas is intimidated by on that stage. So
but I'm saying, that was the question though. You know what I'm saying? Because
I don't even know why that was the question, because he didn't back down to Suge. He ain't back down to
Here's the thing though, a lot of people, that was earlier in his career.
I mean, it wasn't that long ago.
No, to us it wasn't. I seen it. I filmed it. I was there.
Right.
I'm talking about like a lot of people who's just really catching on. A lot of people, they didn't really start recognizing Bad News until Tay-Rock. He just dropped 1.5 million in a couple weeks or something like that. You know what I mean? So that's their first thing. And they might have went back and looked at a battle or two here and there. But a lot of people don't even know he battled Suge until probably listen to some stuff that's going on now.
True indeed.
So they just think, okay, Bad News. They see how he was pushing or getting a little rough with the last few people that he been battling. So they like, and everybody respects Swave as like, nah, he ain't gonna be pushed around like that. And the same thing with Swave. Swave done something a lot of people in his life too. So it's kind of people always want to see that clash and see who's really who's gonna back down, who's gonna You know,
There wasn't no pushing. There was a lot of walking around.
it was a lot of walking around. It was a lot of I dare you to push me type stuff going on.
let me
No,
ask you
actually, there was a push.
Uh-huh.
When fucking first of all, I was standing around like I let niggas do what they do, but there was no way niggas gonna walk around me, nigga. I'm 300.
Right.
You ain't you stop right there, then go back around up way. You ain't getting through this. Like fuck, you know what I mean, whatever. But one time he had went around the other side. I think he bumped into where Rum and them was at, and niggas was like, "Fuck out of here!" It wasn't no aggressive like we gonna get it shake and push. He tried to walk around, get the fuck out of it, laughing like pushed him over. He laughed and shit. No, yeah, you know what I mean. It definitely wasn't no like we gonna get it shaking. It was still a definite.
But you know what was funny on the other side? But you know what's funny on the other side? Somebody else said was like, "Don't let them trap you in that corner." So you know when you on stage, you can hear like different stuff that people was over there. So basically, Swave, he kind of was cornering him. Because Swave was up in his face, right? So Swave was kind of trying to move him and trying to get him to move, and then he was trying to corner him, like you said, right over to that corner with Ike P and everybody was over there, you know what I'm saying? But he was just like, nah, you're not going to push me where you want me to be. Then that's when he came and went around and stuff like that.
So who won the first round, though? I thought Swave.
I think Swave had the first round. I think Swave had the first round.
I think he came.
But it was close, though. It wasn't like a...
I think, and this is kind of how I felt about the majority of the battle. Swave is so creative, as to be an aggressive street nigga like he is. He's so poised and has so much creative writing that it's hard for me, just as someone who leans more towards creativity. It's hard for me to pick against him in a close round. You know what I'm saying?
But that's one of his talents. He's a very poised. That's the thing. I feel like him and Daylight are two people. Him, Daylight, and Lux are three people that people will sit there for like 20 minutes waiting for them to say something. Like you could not say nothing. Well, maybe not 20 minutes, but let's say like a good 30 seconds, 45 seconds
to build something up without heckling them.
And say something without heckling them or whatever.
But you know what? Swave got a proven track record of normally if you building up when you get to the end of that shit.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But at the same that comes with a proven track record, though.
Right.
So because we know, all right, so at the end of this shit, he gonna say something stupendous like, all right, what is it? So niggas is gonna wait. But if you ain't got that track record, you fucking break 10, 15 seconds.
Exactly.
It's over for you.
They give him that benefit.
They gonna give it to him.
Because he always comes with it.
No question.
So
and his style is already slow paced anyway.
Right.
So I want to jump to the second round real quick because I want to point something out. I know you'll appreciate. So, Swave's second round, I thought the way he began it was incredible. Where he's basically saying like he don't build and destroy. He does the opposite. He destroys and then builds you. And he's using people that he destroyed in battles.
The cannon shit.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. He said, "I school niggas and make them a great school niggas and make them better. I'm a great teacher." And you know, Bad News is kind of like not me. And then he like Young Cannon just happened to be standing right behind him. Right Cannon. Right Young Cannon. And Young Cannon's kind of like
yeah, that shit's man.
And then he said, "I'm Django mixed with Thanos because I'm off the chain and I'm known to snap." So this is what I want to talk about, right? And like I said, Penn will know what I'm talking about. So to me, people know my favorite rapper ever, Sean Price, right? One thing.
What's Sean Price on? Huh? What's Sean Price rap? Okay.
Yeah. I noticed.
Okay.
This is why I shouted you out before.
Peabody, Team Homie, and Barzar. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
I want y'all to know that, man. Stop playing with Team Homie, man.
So, Sean Price and Swave, to me, are the two rappers on this earth that use the most alliteration in their rhymes. Like barbarian bars, break bones and brittle. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that.
They love that alliteration shit.
I will say this, because it's even though I thought the content of Swave's second round was crazy, I feel like sometimes it's not a stumble. It's like he takes a minute to gather himself between the bars.
He stumbled.
It was
Swave definitely stumbled in the second round.
Now I think that shit is because when you rhyme, and I might just be looking too far into it, but I think a lot of people who rhyme with alliteration like that, for y'all that don't know what I'm talking about, same consonant sounds, like it's easy to get tongue twisted.
Yeah.
Do you think he does that too much?
Well, Swave been doing alliteration since I known him.
Right.
As long and some like you said, sometimes you may be too ahead of it because when you just going, it's like you could trip up on that shit easily. I mean, but you gotta ask him on that. But
that is a great question.
But that's why it's a skill, though. That's why people do it because they're showing how their lyrical dexterity is.
Most people when you get tongue-tied and stumbled, then it takes away. What happened?
That was a real 90s phrase. I love that shit. Lyrical dexterity. Wow.
He said that?
No, that's what I said.
Oh, he didn't even say that. But do you think that takes away from it when you get tongue-tied? Like when you pull it off, it's crazy. But when you stumble in the middle of it,
you can say that with anything.
Of course, it takes away from it. Yeah,
that's like with it. That's just like bars.
You trip
if you don't say the bar right.
When I see Swave stumble, I be like, yeah, it's literally.
But you know what? It's when Swave stumbles, it's more noticeable because his shit is so slower paced.
Yeah.
So it's like it's when he stumbles, it's more of an abrupt because like. Okay, you was already slower pace. So it was like, and you kind of, there's nothing in there.
Try not to hit the table too much because the mics pick it up.
My fault. I'm a very animated person.
You put the cup. Yeah.
But yeah, so when he stumbles, it's more noticeable because his style is slower pace. So it's a bigger stumble than it would normally be because like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, Bad News second, right?
Yeah,
I love this line from him when he said.
He probably gonna say the one that he said. So I applauded him in one of the lines on stage.
That's probably it. Mm-hmm. When he was like, "So I got shot. Quit fronting, nigga. You acting like you shot me or something." I thought
that line was dope, but that wasn't the one that I was.
Which one you talking about?
I'm trying to with the paraphrase when because he kind of rebuttal what Swave said about I'm just
being aggressive.
I'm all aggressive and no balls, something. He was like. But why the fuck I switch up and got me this far? Like,
right.
I felt that. Like,
yeah. And
I said, you probably
used to say that all the time. Like, why you go to a different league? You go to KOTD, Grind Time, whatever. Why you going to a different league? Now you trying to be jokey.
Right.
And don't
do what got you to the dance.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And I firmly agree with that. So when he said that, I was like, yeah, nigga. Like, I totally I clapped and all. Like, nigga, yes. Like, fuck that, yo. Like, hell yeah, nigga. Like, so that was hard. You know what I'm saying? He had a few lines. It was difficult. So you were actually right. I wasn't doing no recap. So I
gotta
couldn't
do this, right?
Fuck, I'm hitting the mic and shit.
So now this is one of the most quoted lines of the event. Something Bad News said. We had a conversation about it last night. You know what I'm about to say?
Nah, I forgot.
He said, "You got a problem with me? That's something you need to do about." Before I turn Swave to Suede and knock him smooth out.
Oh, yeah.
The whole Twitter was on fire. Yo, that was fire.
That was the second?
That was crazy. Yeah. I was like, yo, me and June. Yo. But look at Penn's face. What happened, Penn?
It was cool. I like other C said way better than that. You know what I'm saying? But the crowd loved it, so that shit fire. Like the crowd liked it. There's 0 hate.
You never had the beef and Brox with the smooth? You had with the brush?
They're from the style, nigga. Hell yeah, nigga. Okay. But I mean, what they got to do with knock you? I get it. The line was cool. I didn't think it. Like I think he said other shit that should have got bigger reactions than that line. That's all.
Nah, but you.
It wasn't whack. But the crowd loved it. That's what it was, yo. But the other shit he said, the other three lines you just quoted to me was better than that.
I think it sounds like,
but the way he
rapped it in the way it sounds.
Yeah.
I turned Swave to Suede. I never heard somebody Suede kind of match those up before. I like that.
But I've heard it. But yeah, but I've been around for a billion years, so don't count me with that shit. I mean, I've heard everything before, so it don't matter.
So who got the second? I think you can make. I might have had Bad News taking the second. Honestly,
I mean,
I had Bad News taking the second.
I mean, if anything, that Swave stumbled and he tried to freestyle at the end and it didn't end it strong. So, you know what I mean? If y'all want to give it to Newz.
He didn't. Hold on.
That was one
freestyle in the third round.
I think it was the second round where he kind of he had to stumble and he got back on the freestyle a little bit and just was that the last round, the Labor Day shit or whatever?
Yeah, that was the last round.
Okay, then maybe I'm mixing the rounds up. I know. Okay.
So Swave's third round. I love the. You say you practice what you preach, and your last battle you wear a shirt that said a hat that said "Wear my vest."
Yo, yeah.
I feel like the crowd. I feel like if that was in New York or if that was in like a bullpen crowd, niggas would have went crazy for that. But I think the crowd was like, oh, "All right," but like I was like, "Yo, that was crazy."
Yeah, because they had that. They had a bunch of those "Where's My Boofman." The dude was out there with the "Where's My Vest" shirts and all that stuff. I think.
Oh, "Wear My Vest." Yeah.
But it was "Wear My Vest," not "Where's My Vest." I think.
One I think might have been Swave's highlight of the entire battle was he was talking about why Bad News got shot, and he said it was over a game of spades.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Oh, he did the whole.
That was the second round.
That was the third round.
That was. Oh.
And then he said, he's like, "You got shot by your ace? Damn, King." And he was just naming mad cards.
That was hard. I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. Because I was thinking Bad News got the third round.
Oh, you rethinking it now, huh?
That was kind of crazy.
I see you.
That was kind of crazy.
So Swave, I felt like Swave's third round was crazy, but he ended it with the freestyle. But I didn't feel like it took that much away from the round. It's kind of like I'm gonna kill you and then go enjoy Labor Day. That's basically he just freestyled that. It wasn't that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying?
It's just with the ferocity and everything else was. It was kind of just a momentum. It was like a momentum shift.
He should have ended it before that.
Probably.
All right.
Because it made it, to me, it made it seem like he forgot his bars.
And the way he freestyled it made it look like he could have forgot his bars. The way he did it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's why I was giving, one of the reasons why I was giving Bad News a third.
Well, this is what makes the battle close. Not like looking at the quotes and looking at what happened. So the whole point of Bad News third round was kind of like you trying to sun me and treat me like a little nigga. Nigga, I'm grown. And he had this line where he said, FYI, I'm not a little nigga, I'm fucking grown because I give back to my community and take care of 3 little girls on my own. And everybody was like, damn. Like,
I'm a man!
That was
he said that. Yo, I'm a man, nigga.
Yeah, he could have left that part out.
I'm a man.
I ain't gonna lie. He could have left that part out.
See,
because like, and nobody said you wasn't a man.
Like, right. So to me, that was funny because it's like, yo, it's a battle. Ain't nobody ever question your man. We know you solid, bro. But to me, the angle that he took with that, it made it like the discussion we had in the fucking car.
Right.
Swave has an uncanny ability
to get people to
make people explain themselves for no fucking reason.
Oh, you did say that.
Swave has the ability, like for some reason.
I was with my daughters and my baby was there. And
we were coming out the store.
Yeah. So for whatever reason, niggas see Swave and just for whatever reason they so like. To me, like it was like, yo, bro, ain't nobody ever question your man. Ain't nobody ever talk about your kids. I'm pretty sure your family's beautiful. So like that whole shit was just like why are you trying to prove to Swave that you a man? Nigga never said you wasn't no man. And then it ended with I'm a man. Like okay, like you a man, my nigga. We know this.
So you was gonna say that Newz won the third round?
I was gonna say Newz won the third round. Like I said, I felt like Swave joint was fire, but I'm thinking about it because I remember Swave being fire, but I forgot that was the round where he was spitting them card. That card joint was cold.
Yeah, that was the beginning of the round, right? He did the card scheme in the beginning.
That was pretty much the whole.
He started it with.
Well, I feel like the first 45 seconds he was saying that like, oh, I know why nigga shot you, and he set it up.
Right.
And then he got into that for like.
Okay, right.
And then he spit some other shit, and then ended with the freestyle.
Yeah, because that was cold. But then Bad News came with
So you got Bad News 2-1.
I'm gonna give it to Bad News 2-1.
You see how
I gotta go back and look at it because that was crazy.
So you saw he was like, I thought, but that he still. Yeah.
It was.
I feel you, baby. I respect.
I'm gonna give it a strong Bad News for now, but I'm gonna go back and look at it again because it was crazy.
I want you to look at this interview and look at how you explained it, and then go back to that again.
No, but I mean, but my reason being because the reason why it was so clear to me. The reason why it was so clear to me was that I felt like at the end he sounded like he choked and was like, oh, let me try to make a freestyle out of it or whatever. And Bad News had a clean round. That was a clean, good round.
Fair enough.
But I just kind of forgot that was cold.
That
whole scheme was probably the best out of both. So now I got to weigh. Is the scheme better than the so-called slight? Like he didn't really choke.
He didn't choke.
He didn't do like Craig Lamar.
He stumbled and got back. Like it was quick and then freestyle. Right. So it wasn't.
Yeah, he did what you would expect to do if you forget your line.
Right.
He probably did.
So it still wasn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all.
So when we look at the poll, 47% Swave 2-1, 33% Newz 2-1. I think the battle lived up to what it was supposed to be. So all right. Well, Emerson and Ooops, I don't even want to break down the rounds because before the battle, I said I thought that was going to be the battle of the event. And after, I think it was. Would y'all agree?
I didn't think it was gonna be the battle of the event.
I did.
But
I didn't see most of the battle. I ain't gonna hold you, so I don't want to give opinions on like a round and a half and shit. So
You missed the first half. Or the second half?
I was doing other things.
Well, all right.
he said, did you see the third, like the second and third? Or?
I was a little preoccupied.
Okay.
So
All right, so check this out, right? I don't want to break it down by rounds.
Shout out to Emerson. I ain't gonna see the whole thing.
Because both of them, like, this is what's incredible about Emerson, Kennedy, and Ooops. Is like they spend a lot of time like not rapping about each other, but
Ooops always does that though.
but just rapping about like black issues in general. And it was just working on both sides.
Yeah.
So it's hard to be like, oh, he won, because they wasn't. Like, they had lines about each other, but it wasn't like, yo, he said this about him and he did this. It was like...
What you saying that, I skipped to the third because that's where they really did it at, in the third round.
Yeah.
But I think in that third round, Emerson Kennedy actually talked about him. You know what I'm saying? He said he wasn't going to have no bars, no punchlines, but
that's true,
he still had a couple punchlines, and it still was geared towards Ooops. I think Ooops I don't even think he mentioned Emerson Kennedy or nothing that sounded like Kennedy.
Well, I want to...
It might have maybe like one line or whatever. I think his was... So me personally, I would have gave it to Emerson Kennedy just because they both was hard.
I couldn't pick a winner because
because it's a battle. I'm battling you. If you ain't say nothing to me, I won automatically. All I got to say is one thing to you.
Right.
I feel like both of them majority... It was...
Majority.
Right, I'm going to give y'all some highlights. So, you know,
right.
Emerson, he had his line where he was like, Little Mermaid was the only time underwater was an aerial view. I thought that was crazy. Orthodontist, I got something crooked off retainer. That was an Emerson.
That was crazy.
Fire.
That was crazy.
That's fire.
Oh, Oops, straight out the gate. How the fuck is the main event on this card math versus Serious? Well, half these niggas don't even take math serious. He came out the gate like that. Everybody's, you know what? Scratch that. I'm gonna go right to the end of the battle, right? Oops said, I think I was telling y'all last night. He said that he's not he was a councilman, a city councilman.
To be honest, I don't know. I know
He was in the.
He's a state representative.
He was in the local politics.
No, he was a state representative.
Okay.
That's what it was. So he was talking about how he basically retired because he had personal shit going on, and he felt like he was like losing people around him, and he was helping niggas that he ain't know nothing about, and he was fighting so much, you know what I'm saying, with white people or whatever in politics, right? So he said, I guess during this time his little brother died, and he was 9, and he had a line in his third round where he was like, most quoted line of the event, hands down. Like, since his brother died when he was 9, he had to put a picture of him in the Face app and put the older filter on to see what he would look like when he grew up.
Yeah, serious.
That was a cold line, but he didn't win though. See, that's my thing though. It's just like, yo, you can say the hardest lines. It's just like when everybody say that Rex spit mixtape bars. Yo, that's fire, but it just ain't about nobody.
But listen,
Rex got nice mixtapes. What's wrong with that?
But you want to know why you could argue that he did win?
Why?
It's because in the first round, I told you underwater was an aerial view and crooked off retainer. That ain't have nothing to do with Oops.
Those are just dope
bars.
bars.
Those were just dope bars. They were talking about
okay.
They were talking about something.
We can look at it on some traditional, old school battling when it was just my versus your versus.
Right.
But this is a different.
But it was more personal than that.
I know. I'm just saying.
But you talking about a line that wasn't personal. But I'm saying, is the whole round was generally directed towards him.
But I don't think Oops just didn't rap about Emerson at all.
No, he didn't.
I didn't feel like that.
Oops is another person that has a gift. I already told you what motherfuckers' gifts are. Oops's gift. Yo, Oops makes it where like he'll make you feel guilty if you vote against him because yo, Oops will say some shit that'll just tug at the most innermost heartstrings. Like, yo,
that's what Emerson said.
It's the sympathy.
No, Emerson said that though.
That's crazy. I didn't see that part.
Yo, he had a line where he was like, "Yo, it's funny how you get up here and say all this heartfelt shit, and you mistake niggas' sympathy for like a real reaction." You know what I'm saying?
Yo, but Oops say some shit like if you vote against him, it's like, yo, how could you, man? What the fuck man? Yo, when he set up there, what's wrong with you? Yo, all right, yo, Oops got it. Yo, Oops got it. Yo,
right.
yo, 3. But Oops is just amazing. Like that's so dope because like
it was good. So like you said, I feel like everybody won because all 3 rounds was good. All 3 rounds it was fire. Like it's definitely a rewatchable battle. They did their thing. Arguably Probably. No, I wouldn't even say argument. It would be the
Hold
battle
on.
of the night.
Oops did rap about Emerson Kennedy.
Not in the
remember he
third.
was not
Not in
I'm
the
just
third.
saying, but you said in general.
No, I said in the third. He didn't rap at him at all.
Nigga, you from Utah, that you grew up with Mormons, and you're a mixed kid and all that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
That
yeah.
shit
Nah,
was
nah, he
funny.
rapped about him.
Yeah.
I'm saying in the first and the second. In the third, all I'm saying is in the third, he didn't rap about him at all.
Nah, he didn't.
I can't remember one line.
He rapped about his brother. He rapped about the politics stuff, why he left politics, what he was struggling with, and he rapped about another thing. He took time out from his third, and he was like, "Yo," and another thing, like fuck this battle, whatever. Tech 9 is a fucked up nigga. I'm a father, nigga. And just went in for like 45 seconds on that.
Right.
Then he was like, a lot of niggas have their little Tech 9 lines or whatever, but like, let me put it in perspective for y'all.
Yeah. So Emerson Kennedy won.
Yo,
I'm just bringing it back.
That being said,
Yeah, with that being said, yeah, it was a good song, man. You know, you can put it to
I
a
don't
beat,
know. It's
you can
different-
listen to it
it's
and
different.
everything. But as far as when you're talking about who won,
yo, this nigga, it was a good song. You could put it to a beat and listen to it.
come on, man.
I can't say that for sure. For sure, I'd have to see it again. Because honestly, I thought Emerson was going to win. I thought was Emerson was going to win the first 2 rounds, and Oops was going to have a third round that brought a tear to everybody's eye, and people would give him that round. But really, it was like the whole time was like, damn, on both sides.
No, yeah, they both spit, but like I said, I definitely would give it the tiebreaker to the third round.
Okay.
you talk to
But battle of the night. Can we, you
battle of
think
the
it-
night. I agree
all
with that.
So listen, I'm gonna put my phone away for this last one. First thing you need to know is that Ill Will and Rex didn't go down because Rex got in a car accident. So I hope everything's all right with him. I know he didn't really. I don't think he's broke nothing or anything, but I know he really didn't feel up to par doing the battle.
shuts to Rex.
But main event, Math versus Serius. I have no bars to say about it. Matter of fact, I want to let y'all talk about it. There's an interview out with me, shout out to Hip Hop is Real, where I'm like breaking down how I felt about the battle to Math. But the general consensus is most people was underwhelmed by the battle.
Yeah.
Right?
Nah, the face-offs they had was crazy. Like if you want to see them go
They
off,
had
with
like
each
the
other,
best face-off of
fake-
all
the
time.
base-
Yeah.
They had like 2-3
The
face-offs.
face-offs. That was some WrestleMania epic shit. That was like that shit was like the most heated rivalry ever. You know what I'm saying? As far as the face-offs, bro, like the drama, the storyline, everything was like the perfect storm and shit. Like you see Serious, you know what I mean? This thing ain't playing, calling Math all sorts of suckers and you know what I mean, all sorts of out his name shit, and you know what I mean, and Math just sitting there being composed for once. The whole shit was just
and then the funny thing about the I think you said this one time, is that they stories about what happened.
Yo.
Everything was completely different. Like they were 2 different places.
Yo, Tuesday I bought a sandwich. Nigga, it was Wednesday. You ate pizza.
Right. And
Every
then-
single
then
story
even,
is like
even
that.
at the place where he was just like, yo, there's 8 people. He said, oh, only 8 people voted. He was like, nah, it's 16 people in here. He was like, nah,
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He said, nah, they
They
work
just
here.
were epic clashes.
Everything they just could not agree on anything. Like,
Speaking of the face-off, I have to shout out one thing Math said. I put the phone down, so y'all know I'm remembering this. This nigga Math said, yeah, I fell in the face-off. I took an L like that. But when I took your face off twice, you fell like
that. I'm glad. That should have got more reaction. That should have got more reaction.
But again, you know why? It's because again, that was a hard line. But when it's been slow way before that, there was no build up to it. It was kind of, you know what I mean. I would give him some stuff was hard, but it was just like.
Well, paint the picture of the battle for people who they haven't seen it yet or caught pieces of it. Like, how'd y'all feel from the beginning?
I mean, honestly, like, my personal opinion, I was really trying to see what Serious was going to do because more than anything, I know that due to the situation before and due to previous actions by Math, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see, like, and then with all that spiciness that fucking Serious was talking with during the face-off, I'm like, I mean, I know professionalism is one thing, but I'm like, yo, I was still in the back of my mind, like, yo, was this nigga really gonna try? He gonna try to get back? He gonna try to get right? Because he doesn't feel vindicated yet.
Right.
Like, fuck the rap shit.
Right.
I don't feel vindicated as a man.
Right.
We got issues we still gotta take care of type shit.
Right.
So I'm big on body language and shit like that. You know what I mean? And I pulled up. That was one of the reasons I pulled up to the event. You know what I'm saying? And this one, you know, I came through as a supporter and a fan and shit, but at the same time, like, You know, Math is my G. Serious, we called you. That's my man's too. You niggas know the homie shit. But you know, on the real, like, you know, I do help mediate a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of wanted to be around just in case shit went awry. Not like I'm some motherfucking equalizer, no shit like that. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Niggas fuck with me. You know what I mean? So maybe I could help alleviate certain things at times. So that's one of the main reasons I came out here to see what time niggas was really on. You know what I'm saying? And like when I was looking at Serious, even during the interviews, the body language, I'm like, yo, he look like he really want to do something. Like, you gonna do something? Like, you know what I mean? So that was more.
And I was the opposite. Like when I was looking at Serious, I was feeling like he was waiting. Like if he do something, I'm ready this time. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you interpret it.
That's how I was interpreting it. He
right.
was just
No,
like,
but even during the battle, like shit pulling up his like. People that been in situations know what certain body language means. He said. This one
but
time
like you said though,
when he changed his shirt,
I'm like, oh, here we go.
It's like, yo,
here we go.
What is he doing?
No, that's he agreed that with Al Capone.
No, I know that. I noticed once I saw the shirt.
Right, but at the same,
but I was like, why is this nigga having
this is what I'm saying. I'm just going off the body language and shit. I'm like, and I know Serious really don't fuck with Mav. I mean, and for good reason. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So I was just like, damn, is he? So that was my whole thing, more than the rhymes and shit. But let's just get into the rhymes and all that. You know, with a face-off that was so fucking drama-inducing, like the build-up, you know, once the battle actually started and shit, you know, I guess maybe due to the energy of the other battles and shit, it definitely didn't captivate the room like people thought it was going to. It started kind of slow.
I think that might have been part of what took away from the actual battle and like why people wasn't giving much reaction, because it was so much tension in there. And I think I heard Mav said it, like people were waiting to see if they were gonna fight. Like, you know what I mean? And even I feel like even Serious was waiting to see if they was gonna fight, because there was a lot of tension. There was a lot of like, oh, he kind of skimmed me on my arm, like, ARP, what you gonna do? I think at one point in time, Serious had said something about like gunshot to the back of your head, and his towel swung and hit the back of Mav's head. As soon as Mav felt like a little bit of something, he was like, looked at ARP, you know, the Serious like apologized or whatever, like, yo, no, my bad, I ain't mean to hit you or whatever, but you know, still keep going. So I think like a lot of it stopped because people were waiting for a fight, or people were looking to see if it was fighting, and the battle was kind of like almost secondary. Yeah, the battle was secondary.
But I also feel like when Serius Jones came out in the first round, like this certain, I'm gonna paint like a parallel picture for y'all, right? You remember when Hollow battled Joe Budden, and Hollow tried to do mad shit to be creative, but it was kind of like, yo, this was the one time where you could say everything we know you're gonna say, and it's like justified, like we want to hit and go crazy. I feel like Serious tried to be more creative in the first round. Then he tried to just be like, nigga, you a sucker. You hit me. Let's talk about da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? You said you ain't any Snickers, even though we heard it a million times. You know what I'm saying? Like, it plays perfectly into the timeline of the battle. It's almost kind of like watching them two go at each other was like this movie we've all been watching. You know what I'm saying? And we wanted the ending to be so
right.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what Mav also does, which is real good when it comes to his storyline continuation battles. He has a good way of starting the shit to recap, like.
Oh yeah, yo, Mav's beginnings to his verses was incredible.
But it was even when he did that, even when he battled Dose, he did a similar. You know what I mean? He started with the shit before the physical shit popped off. He started with that line and got like. I love how Mav brings you back into like, okay, back to the scene of the crime type shit.
You know what that's good for to me that I always like for new battle rap fans. You know what I mean? Like you had some people that's new into battle rap or whatever that wanted to come to this battle and stuff. Because a lot of times I think one thing that battle rappers do is they automatically assume, or, you know, because a lot of us are fans, we know the backstory for everything and what happened and stuff like that. But a lot of times they leave out people who's new, who don't know it. Even down to when people say they slogans, they say like the first two lines and don't say the rest of it. So you might have 1,000 new people.
But that's some people to go back and do their research. They can't get spoon for everything.
But I mean, sometimes I think sometimes it makes sense to break it down so like so that people understand what's going on.
Yeah, Mav does that well.
Assuming that, you know, I think it'll hit harder sometimes.
He does. Yeah. But I also felt like he began his first round incredibly. Like his intro to the first round was so hot that I was like, oh, he won. If this is how the whole battle goes, it's over. It's ugly. Right. But like it's kind of like he started off hot and then veered somewhere else with it. And I was kind of like, no, like, you could have did a whole round like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I will say this, looking at the battle in totality, I felt like the hottest round of the battle was Serius Jones' third
round.
I felt like his whole third was legitimately fire. Yeah. But at the same token, though, this goes back into what we said about playing into the whole movie narrative of it. It's like, it was like fire bars, but it wasn't like stuff that had to do, like he did the whole medical scheme. Right. You know what I'm saying? Where he did the cancer and the stage 4 and why you like you? Did he say you a cancer? Why you think we on the stage for?
Right, something like that.
But
yeah.
He had another line. I
talk
forget,
about underneath the skin, the nerve under the skin.
Yeah, but the whole scheme was fire.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like
he was rapping.
He didn't set it up. Like he could have said something like since you a cancer to the culture, I'm gonna do this and that. Like, you know how Serious is. Like, since you did this, we gonna break it down and bring it to this. He didn't do that. It was just kind of, unless I missed something, unless I didn't hear something he said, it was just like a fire battle rap round. You know what I mean? But a lot of people felt underwhelmed by the first 2 rounds on both sides. And do y'all think that was the crowd playing into it, or do you think it should have been like a smaller, more intimate setting? You know what I mean? Kind of like how Math versus Dose was. Or do you feel like they wasn't getting off like they should have?
Like I said, I think it was the same thing. Like I said, it was so much tension, people didn't know what to expect. Like I said,
you think they were the same way though? You feel like Math and Serious were both like, I don't know what to expect?
Like, from personal experience, if I really have a personal issue with you, it's going to be extremely hard for me to want to write rhymes about you.
Yeah.
Like, if I really have a problem with you, not just the sport, I'm a better rapper, whatever. If I have real life issues with you, personally, I can't sit there think about some fucking bars for somebody. Right. So, you know, maybe the tension was so thick. It's just like, okay, we got to do this, but
and that's what I thought.
Mad German guard dogs in that room,
right?
You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, you know what I'm saying? I think that what they wrote, like, to me, I was saying what Math had written. To me, it sounded like he just wrote an essay and just spit and memorized it and spit it. Like, it didn't sound like was like creative.
He sounded unenthused to be in the battle.
Exactly. It didn't even sound like he tried to put a whole lot of creativity in it. He just was saying what happened or whatever. Let me get this. Not saying that that's what he really did.
Which was crazy to me because there was parts of his shit that was so dope and well crafted, and it seemed like he just veered off from like the intro to the first, like I was saying. Like, that could have been a masterful round the way he was going with it, but he just didn't finish it.
I thought both of the first 2 rounds were underwhelming. I wasn't impressed by any of it. I don't know if it was because of the tension. Some of it was because of the tension.
It was a lot. It was a lot of tension.
But some of it because the battle, the bars just wasn't there to me.
Right.
It was some here and there sprinkled out, but it was just like they were more so concerned about the story and what really happened or whatever than making it sound clever and flipping it and bouncing and stuff. Only thing, like you said, and it wasn't until Serious in the 3rd round where I felt like he started.
If his 3rd round was his first, niggas would have been turned up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they never got that momentum.
But who y'all have winning?
I give it to Serious because of that 1 round. I'm like judging.
So you had him with
half a round.
1-0?
Yeah, basically.
Wow,
basically.
You thought the first 2 rounds was that bad?
I guess yeah, pretty much. I mean, I was not moved by any of it. I was not moved by the first or the second round. I'm not saying they bad. Maybe if I go back and look at it and really think about it and do some research or something, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm
gonna want to look at it again. The initial,
look it up.
The initial response was the 3rd round was the round. But they had to get to the 3rd round, and they was shit interspersed within the other 2 rounds. But it was the 3rd round that was really the round. That nigga was like, okay, we doing this. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
I can't lie. Hold on. There's something I do before I get into the poll and who won on the poll. There's something Math said, and I said something else was the most controversial line. No, Math said the most, by far, mad comments. Talking about I owe you to fade, what I need to do is join Saga because you was a dickhead and I'm tired of beating you. There is, we have a thread on Twitter with a bunch of comments of people just like, what? Fuck that line. Why'd you say this? Just mad people. How do we feel about the line?
I get it.
No comment.
I get it.
No comment.
Maybe it could have been worded differently. I get it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think Math's persona leads you to believe that he wouldn't say something like that. So when he does, it makes it worse. Like if you don't like the line, Like I would have never, if you told me Math was gonna say that, like, yo, I heard Math's bars. He got this line about dickhead and Saga. I'd be like, no, he doesn't.
Nah, no comment. I like I said, I would just say that I was unimpressed, like, cause I like Math. Like I said in the beginning of this year, last year, all the beginning, like he's been on a tear. He's been doing his thing. He did his thing against Ill Will, like crazy. That was probably the best Math I ever seen. Between that and like him and Chilla,
Hollow too though.
Him and Hollow. Yeah, he's been on a tear.
Yeah.
This is like this from there is like if you had to rank all of his rounds, these would be the last 3.
Well, he told me he felt like it's his worst battle in like a year and a half.
Yeah,
he told me. Yeah,
that's kind of. When I was doing that 14-hour interview yesterday.
Yeah. Now he said out of all like my recent battles, this is by far the worst one.
Damn, that's not. I mean, shit. This would be the one that you probably want to turn out the most for.
But you know what though? I thought going into this battle, it was like everything was on the line. I was like, yo, this is one of those battles where it can affect your career if you lose. But after seeing it, it was kind of like.
But what, I think to your point, maybe it was, which I think what you're saying might be right too. Where it was just like you just got so much anger, so much stuff on your mind, so much. It's really hard to be clever. And stuff. Because even with the Hollow situation, that was like old, and it was kind of like, you didn't kind of jump in for me, or like. But this was like some real beef.
Never really, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
and they were friends before.
Right.
You know what it would be? I feel like if this battle happened a year after the incident happened, it would be everything we wanted it to be. But I feel like it would end.
I think it would have been the same because I feel like they still had that same tension. Like right now was no different from back then.
You don't think so?
Nah, it was no different. I think.
Yeah, I guess what you were saying, like it would have been harder.
I think Serius was saved a little bit for the fact, not saved, but like he was saved the fact that like it's been so long, and then it gave enough time for tapes and stuff to come out to show that he did kind of get back at him. It wasn't just like a sucker punch, and it was like, oh man, that's it. You know what I mean? He did try to get back at him or whatever, because for the people who care about that type of stuff.
So
let me cover one thing that was said in the face off. I did offer Serius Jones $20,000 to fight Math. I did. Math, you did not tell motherfuckers. You ain't tell me what to offer Serius. Stop playing, bro. I don't do business like that. But yeah, I did offer Serius 20 stacks, 20 bands to run that with Math, however they want to, do it and shit. I don't know. It's probably not gonna happen ever, but
isn't this? Let me not say
I mean, talk about it. I mean, after they shook hands,
there's a lot of shit to talk about, but this, whatever. That's something else. But yeah, yeah.
So looking at the poll, Math 2-1, 20%. Serius 2-1, 51%. Math 3-0, 5%. Serius 3-0, 24%.
What? That's just odd all over the place.
So 51% of people had Serius.
I don't think 2-1. I don't think it was 3-0 on any side. 3-0? You think it even?
Oh yeah, damn! More people said Serius 3-0 than said Math 2-1.
I can say the reason I can.
Let me see this with my own eyes.
Yeah.
Because 24% of people say Serius 3-0.
Because think about it. What round would you give Math?
First.
To me, they both were pretty even in the first 2 rounds, which was, to me, subpar.
Well, I don't know. The first 2 rounds to me, honestly, was like a blur.
Well,
and then I saw that the third round Serius.
That's exactly. That's why I said 1-0, because it's like, to me it's a blur. So if you just gave both of those to Serius,
I can't lie. It was mad distracting because people were restless all in the crowd, and
75% of the people thought Serius Jones won the battle though.
Right. So he won. Yeah, and that was mainly because of the 1 round, probably the 3rd round. I'm assuming. So, battle of the night. I say Ooops and Emerson Kennedy. From what you saw, what was your battle of the night?
Yeah, I'm mad. I was on a little break for that. I mean,
I know what you're gonna say.
LL Cool G and KT.
Murder and Cannon was a fight, and Murder's third probably had some of the biggest reactions of the night. You know what I mean? So maybe Cannon and Murder for what I say.
All right, body of the night, Rosenberg.
Body of the night. I guess if we're gonna go with body of the night, I guess unfortunately it would be Craig Lamar. But that was more him stumbling. I don't think I don't think if he didn't got his material out, but due to the fact that he didn't get the material out, I just want to make that clear. Due to the fact that he didn't get all his material out and Rosenberg was so clean, I'm gonna have to get that to, you know what I mean? Rosenberg got that.
And performance of the night.
Damn, that could be Rosenberg. That could be.
I think
it could be Rosenberg. It could be motherfucking Ooops or Emerson.
I think
according to what y'all said.
I think Ooops and Emerson combined to have the best performance. Even though that's kind of cheating, like I don't think one of them stood out so much.
I would say Emerson.
Emerson?
Because if I called him to win, then I could say that he was better.
I think if Swave didn't stumble, you could make the argument for Swave.
Swave was fire.
The way Swave started, I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be a long night for you. But Newz kept up and Swave stumbled. So yeah.
But yeah, so RBE.
Close your shit.
Hey,
Swave calling me.
I think it was
just
a
mentioned
great.
his fucking name.
I think it was
Candyman.
I think it was a
You
good
said it
event
3 times.
overall. You do 3 karate chops in the mirror, Swave. Right there. I thought it was a good event overall. You know what I'm saying? I wish Math and Serius was a little better, but Ooops and Emerson Kennedy definitely stole the show. And this is the Redirect Podcast with Poison Pen, which also rhymes with Boys to Men. Is there any other rhymes that people constantly say? It was Boys to Men, like the most popular by far.
Yo, that's when everyone been saying me since I was a kid. Boys to Men, Boys to Men.
I can't lie, the way Mad Flex did it was ill.
I mean, yeah. It's my name. So I've heard
he did it with the Boys to Men ABC DVD. He did it with that with that cadence.
I'm trying to think if I remember that. I don't.
But yeah, Steve Digi. Shout out Rare Breed.
RBE, good work.
Holla.